Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me. This is Jenny with Sipping Streams Tea Company for another day of fabulous tea. So if you haven't heard of my tea company, we are Sipping Streams Tea Company, and I'm the owner and founder. I've been in business for 12 and a half years now, and I have now won 11 international competitions for my teas, for blending teas, for sourcing teas, and for brewing teas. So there are many different recipes that you can make out of our teas, but it's just great to try all the different kinds just as the plain tea themselves. So today I'm going to go over organic decaffeinated English breakfast. Well, you might think to yourself, decaffeinated tea? Like, does that even taste good? Or you might be thinking, great, like I need something caffeine free. Well, let me tell you the truth that number one, decaffeinated teas taste amazing if you get a great quality tea. And number two, decaffeinated teas are not caffeine free. Only tisanes or herbal infusions that are not from the Camellia sinensis plant are caffeine free. Decaffeinated teas have gone through a decaffeination process, and there's many different methods of decaffeinating teas, but our organic certified decaffeinated English breakfast goes through the CO2 process. No, it's not just a small little machine. It's usually made in a very large plant because they release CO2 and it forces the caffeine to come out of the tea leaves. It's actually a pretty intense way of decaffeinating, but it's also one of the cleanest and safest ways of decaffeinating teas. And it's a great and easy way to have it organic certified too, because the CO2, the gas, just evaporates and it forces the caffeine molecules out of the tea leaves. So organic teas that are decaffeinated can taste absolutely amazing and can be totally safe. However, they do have 2% or less caffeine, but never 100% caffeine free. So today I'm brewing the organic decaffeinated green English breakfast, and you can make it in a filter like this. So we have these Finum filters that are great. They have 100 little sacks in them, and they're made out of abaca pulp, which is a reed that's native to Egypt, so it actually doesn't taste like your papery paper that you get from some of the regular store-bought teas. And you can make your loose leaf teas in them because they're pleated and they expand on the bottom. There's tons of room in our slim size, which I only put 1 teaspoon, but you can already see it has expanded quite a bit. So I brewed my tea at 205 degrees, and I had a tea timer that already has run out, so that's why I just pulled the tea out. So 3 to 5 minutes based on preference. Now you might be wondering the shelf life of our teas. Our teas are usually have a shelf life of 3 to 5 years, and it depends how well it's been stored, how much air is in the package, and so when we say shelf life, we say the best by date because it shouldn't be anywhere humid or wet, so it's not actually going to go bad, it just goes stale. Now, the nice thing about our decaffeinated English breakfast is it has just as much flavor as our regular English breakfast tea. But this one is actually gone through the CO2 process. It will have a little bit of caffeine in it still, but it won't have as much caffeine as the regular full amount in the English breakfast. It has this nice sweet flavor, nice finish, full body. Now, not all decaffeinated teas are of the same quality leaves. It really depends on the base tea that they're made out of. So please be aware that just because it's decaffeinated, to not assume that it's caffeine free, and just because it's decaffeinated, don't assume that it's not going to have much flavor. Now, this has a lot of strong flavor in it, and I'm actually going to show you a great recipe of making the Hong Kong milk tea out of it. So if you're caffeine sensitive or you want to have some a nice treat before bed that's like strong and rich and creamy, the Hong Kong milk tea is a great drink option to make with the decaffeinated green tea. I mean, not the green tea, English breakfast, sorry. I'm so used to drinking decaffeinated green tea, but again, for me, I just haven't given the decaffeinated English breakfast much of a chance, even though it tastes absolutely amazing. I think I'm going to start drinking more of it. Plus, if you're wanting to build up your tolerance again, like I have a huge tolerance for caffeine, trying to cut out some of the caffeine will help your body reset and build up, its effectiveness of reacting to caffeine. So if you're kind of in a slump and you're like, man, I've drank in all these different teas and caffeine just doesn't do anything for me, maybe think about taking a caffeine fast or cutting down your caffeine, like the decaffeinated English breakfast. So I made my 8-ounce serving of my organic decaffeinated English breakfast, and now all I'm going to do is put a shot of simple sugar, and yes, that's a lot of sugar if you're wanting a sweet treat, and a shot of, technically it should be evaporated milk because it makes it really creamy tasting. Or you can add a milk alternative like soy or coconut. But remember, it's going to change the flavor of it. So authentically, the Hong Kong milk tea was made with evaporated milk and sugar. And with green tea, oh my gosh, this is absolutely amazing. So anyway, you can tell I don't usually add milk and sugar to my tea. But typically and traditionally for British history, they've added milk and sugar just commonly to drinking tea. But in Hong Kong, they like to use the evaporated milk, which makes it so much thick and creamier, and usually you'll use it for making fudge and custards and things like that. So think about it. You might be thinking, what, evaporated milk? But it just gives it this creamy, rich texture, way more than using half and half or something like that. Man, this is such a great treat. I feel like I'm drinking dessert. So you might want to have this for bed, just because it has less caffeine in it, and it's just a great alternative. So feel free to let me know if you have any questions at all. Don't forget, you can always subscribe to our subscription box, which is available on our website. Or if you want to learn more about tea for free, you can go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to the Sipping Streams YouTube channel. Don't forget, we also offer free mini courses on our Sipping Streams Tea Tribe group. And I hope to see you all there. Thanks!